Welcome to the Marshall News and Views Show. Guest again today is Glenn Olson, who is the city engineer, and we're out here. We've got road construction. As everybody knows, we've had road construction all summer long, and it's coming along so well. We're standing now in front of the First Lutheran Church, which is on A Street. The road here, the street here, comes from, connects with Main Street, and it goes, kind of makes a little curve here and goes over to Marshall Street. There's also work being done on that Redwood, that short one block of Redwood Street. That would be what direction?
West.
West Redwood.
To the river.
To the river. Then it dead ends there, and we're probably going to go down there and look at that too. But a big, huge project again, and it's really coming along.
It's one of those projects, Elaine, that this is part of the oldest part of the city of Marshall.
That's
again.
Right. Yeah.
And the not only is the street being replaced, but all the utilities in the street, the water system, the sanitary sewer, the storm sewer system, as well as separate from our project, the gas mains and other utility lines that run along here are being replaced at the same time. So really a total reconstruction of this area, which has been a long-term street in the city of Marshall. And you can see here the contractor is getting ready now for curb and gutter. He's got all the utilities in on this section all the way on A Street from Main Street to Marshall Street. And so all the utilities are in, and the Class 5 gravel has been placed and leveled down. And so the next thing you'll see in this section will be the curb and gutter work coming in and shaping and getting ready for paving. We do intend to have the project complete by before winter comes.
Okay.
You know, this is the last day of summer or close to it.
Is it?
The first day of fall coming up this week. So that's kind of a milestone.
Yes.
It's time to start looking at what we have to do to get things closed up for winter.
That's right.
We do like to see the last coat of asphalt being placed next spring, if we can.
Okay.
Especially with all the utility work and the possibilities for some settlement over those utility lines.
Okay.
That's not required because the contractor's time of completion is yet this fall, but we're going to make some discussions with the contractor to see what's in the best interest of both our project and the contractor as well.
That's great to have a little bit of leeway there.
Yes,
the
we
weather
should.
And everything.
Right, and you can see, like you mentioned earlier too, the sidewalks are going to be replaced on this side of the street. On the east side, there will be no sidewalks from Marshall Street to A Street on the west side. That was due to discussions with the property owners and city council. And so our direction is we will still have pedestrian traffic, but it will be on the east side only, all the way along here from Marshall Street down to Main Street. So I think what we'll do is go down and take a look at the A Street connection, and then go to Main Street from there.
Very good. We're now on East Redwood Street, and we're facing this big trench in front of us. I don't think we'll go down there, right?
I don't think we will either. This is the contractor now working on East Redwood Street from A Street to the river. And they have to put in storm sewer all the way to the river. And you can see that there's lots of utility lines that they have to work around. And of course, that takes time to do that safely. And we want to make sure the contractor is always working on safe conditions. You can see where the contractor's dug down to the proper elevation and has sloped the trenches back so that they don't collapse on the workers during the installation. So there's quite a bit of work to be done here yet, both for sanitary sewer and storm sewer, any water main that still needs to be installed on this section. So we expect this section to be done. And one of the comments that we had on this section of the construction was that the only access to Walker Lane is from this street.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's just a half a block off the river, or one set of houses off the river. So right now there is no access, as you can see,
Yes.
to them. And the only access that they have now is the pedestrian bridge
Oh,
that
sure.
we have, that's located right at the end of the street, that
Yep.
was installed just a few years ago. They can park on the other side of the river and walk back and forth,
Yeah.
or they can park in the residential neighborhoods away from here. But you can see very clearly that you aren't going to be driving into your garage
Yeah.
off this road for some time.
So they leave their cars parked over on the other side, is that right?
Either on the other side
of the
or
bridge.
in a different
here.
residential area if
Yeah.
you can get there. But you can see it is a real inconvenience
Yeah.
for a while for those people. So it's good when the contractor pays attention to detail, gets in and does the work as quickly and as efficiently as
That's-
possible,
Yep.
and gets traffic back for the residential customers
That's
that
right.
are located
Yeah.
along this street.
And
But
thank
the-
goodness it's not the middle of winter.
Oh, that's right. And we've had decent weather. We
Yes.
haven't had an excessive amount of rain. You know, I know some people are looking for a little moisture for their lawns and
Yes.
and things like that. But we're doing just fine without a lot of rain.
Yes.
And if it comes the next couple days, we just have to deal with it when it
Right.
comes.
Yeah.
But you can see the contractor is doing as much as he can to get the excavation done to put the utilities in.
Exactly. Very interesting.
And I think next, we'll just go down to Main Street and see where this project connects with that project, and give you a little update on that project as well. Even though we're not responsible for that project at this time,
No.
we had to
Right
do
here.
our sanitary
Yeah.
sewer and storm sewer
Yeah.
on that section as well. So we'll go down and look
Yeah.
at that.
Very good. Okay, now we're down on Main Street. My gosh, there's even a road here now. Last time I was over here, there was just a big hole.
That's right. This is the section of road from First Street to A Street that when MnDOT was planning on just doing a mill and overlay, and they took that top 1.5 inch of asphalt off, and they found that the concrete wasn't adequate
yeah.
for future maintenance and service. So they decided to take it out, and of course when they decided to take it out, that changed the city's responsibilities too, and that being the surface is off, it was time to change our storm sewer and sanitary sewer that was running through here. So we did that, and now they put the new gravel base down. They've got some lifts of asphalt, and you can see they're even doing some finish work behind the curbs right now. So the intent is to probably have this open for the parade for homecoming on Saturday for SMSU's homecoming parade. And if not, if we get too much rain in the next couple of days, we'll still use the original parade route and detour that goes down on A Street and over to Marvin Schwann Drive.
Right, yeah.
But the plan currently is to utilize Main Street for the parade if possible.
Yeah. Great, great.
So you can see the work that they're doing, trying to get cleaned up. It probably won't be spick and span, but it might be operational
Right.
for the parade and other traffic as well. So
Exactly.
that's what we're trying to get. Probably all the sidewalk work won't be done,
No.
or some of the driveways might not be done, but we'll try to get as much done as we can.
Good. Wonderful.
Okay.
Now we've changed location again. We're down at Windstar and Margaret, and lots of activity going on here too. This just happened, was it yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah.
In the last couple of days, our contractor's been working on this intersection, and you can see right across the street, that's Windstar Street coming from Saratoga Street.
Oh, sure.
So this is a kind of a major road coming here. And you can see now what we've been doing with this intersection. It will allow a right turn off of 68 going north, and a right turn onto 68 going north from Windstar, and then crossing traffic as well as pedestrian crossings at this intersection as well. So it's a fairly wide intersection all constructive concrete here, and then we'll be putting bituminous paving on the gravel that you see. So quite a major improvement being done to allow access to the, I'll call it the southeast side of Marshall, for the new Marshall liquor store, Menards, the Walmart area, the Pizza Ranch area, that area that's developing east of Trunk Highway 59 south of Marshall. So this connection should help alleviate some of the traffic at the signalized intersections as well, just north of here. So I think we'll go up and take a look at the next intersection here that's being constructed as well.
Now we're at Margaret and Windstar. We see lots of activities ahead of us here. Just poured this cement this morning.
We just got this intersection, we call it a drainage swale that comes through the intersection. And so now the contractor is shaping, watering, compacting, and getting ready for the asphalt overlay on this section. So you can see that essentially what's left after the concrete cures here is to put on the asphalt on both sections here. Then of course we have a lot of miscellaneous things, you know, signing and striping and those kinds of things. But you can really see now how this section will come together.
Yes.
Significantly different than it would be last fall.
Oh yes.
For access.
Yeah.
It also really opens up another area for development.
Exactly.
It does.
Yeah.
Access is a critical item for businesses wanting to look to locate or relocate.
Yep.
So quite an important milestone, we think, to get this connected. In our master plan, Windstar Street is one of the main thoroughfares then that will go east of Menards too, and then connect back to both Trunk Highway 23 and Trunk Highway 19 ultimately. So kind of a long-term master planning.
Yeah.
We do a piece at a time. We kind of take our time to see what businesses want to align along that path. The city has a significant lot adjacent to the liquor store. There's also privately owned land just to the east of us here, privately owned land to the south. So this connection will open up another location if people want to build on it.
Now, this is before you came, but I remember this was one big farm.
Well, yes. And Clarice Boyer is the one that we worked with and developed for this area.
Yes.
And that's what really the entity that Walmart worked with too on initially setting this up. And I never knew Clarice's husband.
No.
But Clarice was a dynamic person.
Yes, she was.
that knew what her mind and what she wanted to do, and she was, I don't know if you'd call her stubborn, but you might call her stubborn.
She was very, this is the way it's going to be, and that's it.
Yeah, that's right. And really a fine person for us to work with.
Yeah, she did volunteer work at the museum even, and you know, and it just was amazing to see how she could handle a big project like this. Her husband had died several years before.
She always had a twinkle in her eye when it came to development and money.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and she was good at both.
And I remember too, she didn't want a street named after her. She wanted named after her daughters. But you went ahead and you named it, and I was so glad because that was important, I thought.
Well, we still had to get the approval from her.
Oh, you did.
But we explained to her why it was that way as well.
Yeah.
So she was really a driving force on the enabling of the development of this area.
Yeah.
Really was. So
that's great.
Well,
we're going to end it up for today, but we'll be back next week. Be sure and tune us in, and we're going to be looking at the Merit Center. Lots of stuff going out there, and eventually we're going to walk across that pedestrian overpass. I want to make sure to do that, but we've got to have the dry cement first.
That's right.
See you next week.